Hey guys, welcome to the webinar. So first off, let me know if sound is working all right and if you guys can see my screen all right. Just let me know. Okay, cool. Cool, it looks like it's working. So let's get started. So I'm really excited about our webinar today, and my special guest and friend of mine, Luke, or as he goes by, some of you guys might know him by Lambo Luke, which is what he kind of goes by online. Now, I'm really happy that he's coming on here and showing us a way that literally anyone can make money online with absolutely zero experience. And this is some really exciting stuff that he's been working on, and he's going to tell you guys about it a bit today. So as a matter of fact, what you guys are going to see here is actually the simplest strategy I've ever seen to making $100,000 or more each year. Now, after he showed me what he was doing, I knew you guys would be, greatly benefited from kind of getting some of this information as well. And I wanted him. We had talked about this for a while, but getting him to come on here and show you guys some of his strategies. So, let me know. Is that cool with you guys? Okay. But so, and get this, is that what's interesting about this, which is very different from me, but there's really no online marketing skills required in what he's doing. Now, you're taking advantage of the power of the internet, but there's no marketing skills necessary to make this system work. So the only thing you really need is a web browser and an internet connection and a little bit of time to make the business work. Now, since you're on the webinar, this means you're basically qualified already. So let me also point out that this is not going to be something that takes a lot of time either. You actually can get paid instantly with this, and literally can be done in, it's 30 minutes or less per day. So he even has a friend, and there's his friend's daughter or something, a 10-year-old girl is doing this and supposedly making a lot of money. So if you have ever been wanting something that just plain works and is easy to do, then you're in the right place. So my friend and guest trainer here, guest teacher Lambo Luke, so he's made millions of dollars online, and I go back many years with him. So when he shows me something that's working, I pay attention, and you should too. So with all that being said, Luke, thank you so much for doing this, and I can't wait to tell you how grateful I am, and happy to have you on the webinar today. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to be watching as well and taking notes, so please take it away.
All right, thanks so much for that introduction. Really appreciate that. And thank you to all of you for jumping on the webinar to see what we've got. I promise you we're going to do our best to blow your minds today. I think we're going to deliver on that. We've got something really cool that we're super excited to show you. So before we get started, we are going to do some live webcam video so I can interact with you guys. And I want to give the video guys a countdown now so we can start that feed. So let's do that, and then we'll start right up. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. So glad to have you on. We are super excited to show you this. I can barely contain myself here. I'm ready to get right into it. But a couple of quick things we need to do before we get started. First, I want to make sure everybody can hear and see. If you can hear and see, give me a 1. You should be, I'm waving at you now. You should be able to see the webcam stream. If you cannot see me, which I know sometimes that's a problem, type in the number 2 in the chat box, which, by the way, you should have a chat box there you can see and some other options. Please use that. We want to be able to interact with you today. Okay, so a couple of people can't see the video. That sometimes happens. Here's the quick, easy fix for that. If you look on your screen somewhere, you should see like a little control panel or an orange button with a white arrow. You can click on that to expand and contract the menu for the webinar. Expand that out. You should then see a view option. So click on view. And then at the top of that, you should see full screen or window, 2 different options. If you select one or the other, or kind of toggle between the two one or two times, it should kind of kick it in the butt for you and get the webcam stream going. So view, full screen or window, or switch to the other one and then back, whatever. I'm not sure why, but sometimes that'll kick it in the butt. Okay, good. Worked. Looks like it worked. All right. So most everyone can hear and see at this point, and we want to get straight to it because we're ready to go with this. Everybody good to go? All right. Awesome. So what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about a $100,000 plus strategy that's so easy. We actually have a 10-year-old little girl doing this. All right. So you should be able to pull this off after watching the webinar. If the 10-year-old girl can do it, and if you're on this webinar, you can pull it off for sure. Nobody has any excuses if a 10-year-old girl's doing it, right? So what we're going to do, we are going to talk about some specific numbers. We're going to look at specific examples and results. Because of that, we actually have to do legally, of course, thanks to the attorneys, the FTC earnings disclaimer, which means, you guys have probably seen this, we can't promise or guarantee just because you jumped on this webinar that you're going to make a ton of money and money's just going to appear in your bank account. Everybody's got different experiences, and any business you do has risk and all of those things, right? So we can't guarantee you're going to see the exact same results that we're going to talk about. But we are going to talk about results, which is why we wanted to do this. Is that fair enough? You guys understand that, right? Good. Okay. So hopefully everybody has read the disclaimer and you understand what's going on there. So thank you, attorneys, for making us do that. All right, so next, let's get into the detail here. This is actually going to be a very short presentation and training today. I don't want you to think you're going to be here for hours upon end. And the reason is what we're going to cover is so dead simple. There's really not much to it. In fact, in let's call it 15, 20 minutes, you're going to have your head, fully wrapped around what's going on here and be able to kind of pull this off. So it's not difficult at all. And we're going to try to make it quick for you. Thorough, but quick. I don't want to leave anything out, but there's no need for a lot of fluff here because it's so simple, all right? So here's what we're going to cover, just so you have an idea of kind of the order of events. We're going to do a quick explanation of the methods that we are using, and we're using more than one method here, so we're going to cover all of those. We'll do a demonstration for you, kind of an over-the-shoulder demo, so you can actually see what it looks like in practice. So we're going to kind of tell you what it is, and then you're going to watch me do it. At that point, you should have a really good understanding of what's going on when you see it in action. And then after that, you'll know enough to be able to answer some questions. So we'll do a Q&A session and spend a little more time covering things in detail that you may have questions about. And then kind of at the end, what I want you to do is hear from some other people that are doing this. I think that's super important for a few reasons. One, it lets you know that it's not just us that can do this, okay? You don't have to be an expert. Regular, everyday people are pulling this off all of the time. And you don't have to be full-time or online or any kind of, huge budgets or really technically savvy or any of that. And it's good to hear from others so you can kind of see, okay, yeah, this is working for them. And that kind of also serves as some inspiration. So not only is it proof that this thing works and like, hey, I can do this, but also it serves some inspiration to get you out there and have you take some action. That's the key. We want you to take action, right? So we'll hear from some others as well, which is one of my favorite parts of the whole presentation. So here's what we're going to ask of you. Please put away any possible distractions. Facebook, close it out. I know it's, whatever. Turn your cell phone on mute. Go into your office or your bedroom, close the door, whatever you need to do to pay close attention. We're going to get into some detail, and I don't want to go back and repeat things. And when we get to the question and answer session, I want to make sure you have a full grasp of this. Okay, so please put away any possible distractions. Take notes. Get out a piece of paper, and we're going to talk about that, but get out a piece of paper or a pull-up notepad or whatever your preferred style of note-taking is, and take some notes so that you can take action on this stuff. Again, take action. Interact with us and ask questions, please. That question box is there for a reason. We want you to use it. We want this to be a two-way street today, not just me sitting there preaching at you. and being very boring. Okay, so let's cover the first piece of this, which is, should you even be on this webinar at all? Is this going to be relevant to you? Can you do this? I know that's always a big question for me. Hey, I'm going to spend a few minutes here. Is this going to be relevant at all? So here's the deal. Even if you don't have much time, this requires very little work, okay? You can do this with a very small amount of free time. And even further to that point, you can actually outsource this. So once you get the method down and you understand it, you can train someone else to do this very easily, and they can do it for you. So not only does it require very little work, you can really outsource the whole thing and turn it into zero work. On top of that, as we already mentioned, no special skill is required. If you're on the webinar watching this, without a doubt, you can do this. And again, you're going to see me do it live. And for everyone that's not in the U.S., this is a big one. This will work for you. I know that a lot of times there are systems and methods that you just can't use because you're not in the States. That's not the case with this. We are going to do our initial examples, and everything is going to be very U.S. based. And you're probably going to be thinking, wait a minute, I don't know if I can do this because I'm not in the U.S. Don't worry. We will show you how we can flip that script and make it applicable no matter where you are. So this is going to work no matter where you are in the world, okay? So hopefully that answers the big question here, and the bottom line take-home message is anybody can do this, okay? Anyone can do it. So if you're on the webinar now, this is for you. You don't have to worry about wasting your time here, okay? Speaking of wasting time, let's get into it, right? Everybody, let's get on with this thing. So we're going to talk about multiple methods, as I said. Let's talk about method number 1. We'll do a basic overview here. Now, fair warning, I'm going to sound like a little bit of a crazy person at first, okay? I know that. Bear with me, and once things start to click, it's going to be very clear that maybe I'm not as crazy as I look or sound. Maybe I am. I don't know. But hang in there with me for just a second. So here's what we're doing with method number 1, all right? Method number 1, we're starting out by buying a textbook from an Amazon third-party seller at a low price. Okay, so we're going on Amazon, we're finding a textbook, and we're trying to find a deal. What is a deal? You'll see here in just a minute. Okay, we're trying to find a textbook on Amazon at a low price. Normally, we're not buying from Amazon. We're buying from a third-party seller that has posted their book for sale on Amazon. So it's somebody like us, or a college student getting rid of their books, or a book dealer, etc. Okay? Kind of an important point. You'll see why later. So that's the first piece. We're going to buy a textbook from an Amazon third-party seller and hopefully get it for a low price. The next thing we're going to do then is this is going to sound weird, we're going to get the book. This is where I sound crazy. When we get it, we're actually going to turn that book around and send it into Amazon through their trade-in program for a higher price than we paid. Okay? Then we're going to get paid instantly on that and pocket the difference. And therefore, we've made some profit. Okay? So again, I know this sounds a little crazy. We'll explain why it works this way and all that in just a minute. So hang in there. The bottom line is, if you're taking notes, just a couple quick things. We're buying a textbook from an Amazon third-party seller. Once we get the book, we're going to send it back in through Amazon's trade-in program. Amazon's going to pay us for that book, and we're going to pocket the difference. And hopefully, we've made some money here, okay? Pretty simple. So what is the Amazon trade-in program? You kind of have to understand this to get why this is working. So the Amazon trade-in program lets you send in eligible items, textbooks in this case. We're going to focus on textbooks, and you get paid when you do that. So one of the great benefits of this is when you send in your textbook, Amazon actually pays for that shipping. So you print out a prepaid label, you stick it on the book, and you send it in, and you get paid for that. Now, bear with me. We're going to show you and talk about different ways where we can do all this with zero work. So don't let, a label scare you. But the cool take-home message here, this first part, Amazon actually gives you that prepaid label, so you don't have to pay shipping to send it to them. It's free. It's on their dime. Fantastic. Okay? So we're going to take advantage of that trade-in program with textbooks. And here's what we're going to do. Let's look at a specific example, and it's going to start to become a lot more clear when you see what's going on. All right? So we're going to take a look at this specific book, and we want to pay attention to two different parts of the screen here. The left part is going to be here. Okay, we want to look at the used and new price. Write this down. This is important. Okay, this is one of the notes you need to be taking. We want to pay attention to the used and new price. We don't care about all these other prices for rentals and brand new, the expensive one there for $142. But we don't care about any of that. Okay, what we care about is the used and new price. Take note. We can buy this particular book for, let's call it $44. All right, so for $44, we can buy this book. Now, let's shift our attention to another part of this listing over here to the right-hand side. Notice what it says over here. You can trade yours into Amazon for a gift card up to $73. Okay? Okay, everybody stop what you're doing right now. Pause, time out, T.O. I want to address this before you get confused about it, okay? Everybody's going to have this question, so I want to take care of it right now. So you're probably going, okay, well, wait a minute. $73.70, but it says in a gift card. What's the deal with that? Here's the thing. We have a way, or multiple ways actually, where we can convert this gift card into cash. Not only that, but we have ways to get paid in cash initially. Okay, so don't let the words gift card throw you off here. Okay, it's just like getting paid in cash. We can convert that. We'll talk about it later. All right, so we can trade ours in, and Amazon's going to pay us $73 for that, $73.70. What does that mean? Let's run the math, okay? We bought the book for $44. We sent it into Amazon. Amazon paid us $73 for the trade-in. We got $29 profit on that transaction, okay? We didn't have to sell it, okay? We're not selling. Remember, we're just sending it into Amazon. The beautiful thing about this is we knew we were going to be profitable on that before we even bought the book. Okay, we just looked. We looked and said, okay, well, we can buy it for $44. We traded it in for $73. Done, okay? That's a huge point. We'll talk about it a little bit more later, but pretty easy $30. Everybody get that so far? Pretty simple, right? This isn't complex yet. Jared says, WTF, mind blown. Good. I told you we were excited about this, and this is only the first piece. We're going to have a theme here of it gets better. So this is just we're scratching the surface, all right? So let's talk a little bit about scratching the surface. What is the opportunity here? So just so you're aware of how the textbooks thing works, it's a nearly $20 billion industry. It's been around for about 100 years, okay? The average textbook buyer spends between $900 and $1,200 per year, okay? This market is a little unique in that every single person that spends money in this particular market does so because they're forced to do it. This is what we call a forced market. And this is a forced market is part of the reason we're going to be able to do all of these methods that you're about to see, okay? So it's a very unique kind of industry and category because it's so huge. There are 20 million college kids, and they look for books. 20 million people look for books more than once every single year, and they all spend, let's call it around $1,000 on average. Okay, so we're talking about a $20 billion industry, and they have to spend it multiple times throughout the year. Semester 1, they've got to get their books. Semester 2, guess what happens? They have to get rid of those old books. Most people trade them back in or they sell them used or whatever. So that generates a very consistent used market as well. So we not only have a giant new market and people spending huge dollars, $20 billion is a giant industry. But they're forced to, and multiple times throughout the year, they have to get rid of some of their old stuff. So it creates a used market. So this is a very unique situation, and that's why we can take advantage of this. It gets even better, though, right? So we can actually trade in more than one copy of the same book, okay? So we can start to multiply our profits. Not only that, there are hundreds of thousands of books on Amazon. Not only that, there are hundreds of thousands of books beyond Amazon, which we'll talk about. So the profit potential here is absolutely huge. And the big kicker for me is there's zero, or we'll call it nearly zero risk. Okay, so not only is it a crazy market that's very unique and huge, but there's not a lot of risk for us. Why do I say that? Well, think about this. This is huge. You know if a book is going to be profitable before you even buy it. Let me explain what that's like. If light bulbs aren't going off in your head and this is blowing your face off yet, how about this? That's like knowing a stock is going to go up in value before you buy it. So you already know what the stock is going to be next week. So if it's going to double in price over the next week, well then of course you buy it. That's what this allows. I mean, where else can you do that? Okay? We don't have to take our wallet out and make a purchase, or our purse out, whatever you prefer, and buy anything or invest in anything until we know for a fact we're going to profit on it. I don't know of anything else where that's the case. This is like being able to see into the future, right? This is the Back to the Future almanac right into your lap, okay? Here's the other great thing about this opportunity. Not if that wasn't big enough. We're not selling anything. We don't have to send it into Amazon and hope someone else buys it or any of that. We're utilizing the trade-in program. We don't have to wait for an item to even sell before we get paid. Amazon will pay us right away. In fact, once you build up a little history with Amazon, and for a lot of the book titles, you can get paid now, immediately, before Amazon even gets the book. How about that one? So you can claim the trade-in, and Amazon will say, hey, do you want to get paid now? They don't even have the book yet, and they'll pay you now. So yeah, I'll take it now, sure. Right? And then you send in your book. So an unbelievably unique opportunity and huge potential here. Here's another part of the opportunity, and we kind of touched on this already. You can outsource this entire thing and make it hands-off, passive income on something that has guaranteed profits. Did I mention guaranteed profits? You already know that you're going to be profitable before you whip out your wallet. I mean, that's unbelievable, okay? Everybody on board so far? You see how huge this opportunity is now? Awesome. Okay. Amy's going crazy. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys. Thanks for interacting, by the way. That's huge. That lets me know you're engaged. So I already know the question, and I see it right here, right? I already see what you guys are wondering. This sounds great, and this is all fine and dandy, but why in the world would Amazon allow this? Why would they do this? This doesn't make sense to me. I had the same question until I understood really what was going on here. Right? I'm like, okay, we're buying from Amazon. We're trading our book back into Amazon. Why are they, what? So here's the deal. Amazon is just the middleman here, okay? There's two sides of the equation, okay? The first side is they aren't the one we're actually buying the book from. Very, very rarely, okay? Normally, it's a third-party seller that just happens to have their book for sale on Amazon, okay? So Amazon, as you guys know, charges sellers in the book category 15%. So they make money on that transaction, and they're not the ones selling the book, right? So they're not even part of that first transaction. They're just the middleman there, and they take their 15%. So cool, Amazon's wallet just got fatter. They're happy. Now, the other side of the equation, believe it or not, they actually aren't the ones buying the book either, okay? They've already got another book buyer, book dealer on the back end contracted to purchase that book from them. Okay, so they're not just turning around and selling it on their own site. They're just selling it to the book dealers. So let's say they're offering you $80 for your book for a trade-in. They've probably already got that thing sold for $100. So there's another a potential piece of profit for them right there. They've already got it sold. So they're not the ones selling us the book initially, nor are they the ones buying. Okay, they're just the middleman, and they make 15% when you buy it, and then whatever their markup is to the book dealer when they hand it over to the book dealer. So they love it. They're making money. Does that make sense why Amazon loves this now? And I think, yeah, what you just said there in the chat. I thought we were buying from Amazon. And so we're not. And they're, again, not the ones, the final buyer themselves. So that's why it works. They're just the middleman. They're making money at every step of the way. Amazon's got a good business model. Okay, they've got this figured out. If it wasn't beneficial for them, we wouldn't be able to do this. So now let's get to the cool part. You guys ready to find some books? Let's actually see this in action, in practice. How do we do the search? How does it work? You guys ready? Give me a 1 in the chat box. I want to make sure you guys are engaged. You guys ready to do this so you can see how it works over the shoulder? Okay, cool. 1s everywhere. All right, good. Again, thanks for interacting, guys. Okay, before we actually do that and go hunt down some books, I want to set a goal for us, right? Remember in the beginning when I talked about a six-figure per year strategy? Well, in order to do that, let's break it down, okay? In order to do $100,000 a year, we need to try to set a daily goal of $275 a day. Okay, so when we go out and we're looking for these books, I want you in the back of your mind to think, okay, how quickly, how easily could I get to $275 a day here? And I think you're going to be shocked at what it actually takes to get to that six-figure a year mark in a good way. Okay, so at this point, let's bounce over to Amazon and let's do some searching. So here we are at Amazon, and I'm just going to do a quick search for the term textbooks. That's going to bring up some textbooks. And as you probably know, hundreds of thousands of textbooks and, thousands and thousands of pages and tons of different categories you can see over here on the left-hand side. It's just very daunting because the market is so giant. Okay, so what we did to speed up this process to find books, and I want to show that off now, we actually built a custom piece of software to do this for us and to do it way faster. So that's what I want to show off now so that we're not sitting here manually searching, and you'll see how quickly we can try to hit that $275 a day mark. All right. So what we did is we built a browser extension, a Chrome browser extension, and we simply visit a page with books on it. We click the button, and it does a lot of things for us. All right. So I want you to take note of what the page looks like right now, and I'm going to go up here and I'll press our little magic button, our software, and I want you to see what happens to the page. It's going to do a lot of things for us, and we'll cover that. So we've run it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is this first line here, all right? And it says total net profit opportunity on this page is $568, okay? Almost $569, all right? So first of all, again, thinking about that $275, how hard is it going to be? Probably not very. Out of the thousands and thousands of pages and hundreds of thousands of books, just on the very first page here, we're doing pretty good, okay? So what does that mean, net profit opportunity? Well, it's analyzing this page, okay, and actually another page level deep, which you're going to see, and it's figuring out which books are profitable and which ones aren't. So sometimes this number, obviously what it says is potential profit opportunity. There might be a book that doesn't qualify, okay, and we'll be able to remove that out. You'll see in a minute. Amazon has different requirements for the trade-in, and you'll have a chance to learn about that later. But sometimes some of that number won't be valid for trade-ins, but this gives us a pretty good idea of what may be available here on this page. So that's the first thing that happened. The next thing that happened, you will notice, well, you probably can't see from here, but the first thing that happened that you didn't see is it weeded out anything that didn't have trade-in. So a lot of times you're on pages that have different types of items, books that don't have trade-in, all of that. Removes them from the page for you so you don't have to, work through all of those and look at them. So that saves you a lot of time there. Those are gone. The next thing it does is it starts to border some of these books with a specific color, okay? The green one is where there's an immediate profit here on Amazon, okay, and we'll be able to see that. So for this particular book, you can see we've got almost a $10 profit, and you can see we can buy it here for $120, and we can trade it in for $133. Okay, so the key here is it quickly allows us to identify this is a profitable one. I mean, you can't hardly miss this giant green check and a bright green border. Okay, so it makes it really quick, really easy to spot. The other thing it does a different color border as well for certain books. We're not going to get into that at this point. We'll just call that, for now, the mystery method, and we can do some other things with those books. For now, we're going to focus on the green ones. The other thing it did is it added a little button here called Buy on Book Scouter. We're going to learn more about that here in just a bit. Okay, so the main point here is it does a full analysis of the page, gives you an idea of approximately how much may be possible to make from the page, and it weeds out anything that isn't going to be relevant and highlights ones certain ways so you know how to react to those specific ones. In this case, green, big green check, Fantastic. So a huge time saver. You can see it does that for all the books on the page. Okay? So let's take this, let's just drill down. Let's look at this one, for example. We have a little bit more potential profits here. So it's going to prove our point a little bit better. So what we can do now is this goes a step further. Now we know, okay, this book has a potential profit of $133. But you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. It's $101 to buy, but the trade-in is $137. Well, that's less than $133. Where's the $133 coming from? Well, that's coming from the total potential profit from multiple copies of this book. How do we get that? Take a look at this. It works. The software works on other pages as well. It's going to help us out. So let's click on Used and New. And we can run the software on this page as well. And you're going to see, again, the page does a lot of things, very similar to the other one. We run it. It tells us, all right, here are our potential profits for this book when looking at each of these copies. So it gives us each individual copy and their potential net profit on that specific copy. Again, green border, big green check. Okay, so it tells us a lot of things. And it adds a Sell on Book Scatter button. Again, we'll talk about that later. So pretty cool. Tells you exactly which ones are profitable potentially and how much. These orange ones, again, are another method we'll talk about later. So we can go down. We can see there are multiple books here that are potentially profitable. The other thing you'll notice is this little remove button. All right. Well, there are condition requirements and other things that Amazon requires of you before a book can qualify for the program. So let's just say, for example, this one didn't qualify. It's pretty profitable, $32 we can make on one book, but it didn't qualify, so let's remove it. All right, so now we go, okay, our calculation has been taken care of for us. Let's remove that book. It changed our total profit number. The other thing I should mention in the calculations, it does include the shipping, okay? So we do have to pay for the shipping to us, but we don't have to pay for the shipping to Amazon when we send it in for the trade-in. Remember, we're getting a prepaid label. Amazon's taking care of that for us. So again, we can remove these, and the calculations are done for us, including shipping. All right? Very cool. So you can see how this really speeds the process up, makes it viable. Trying to do all of this manually is just, you're never gonna really make your money worth for the time spent. Okay, so real important to see how this whole system works. Does that make sense so far, guys? Pretty simple, right? All we're doing, we're doing a search, or we're browsing a category. We're getting to a page that's got books. We click our button, and it kind of tells us what to do from there. Make sense? Okay, everybody, yes, and a lot of ones. Good. All right, everybody's on board. So that's the basic process. Now, of course, you can do this on multiple pages. So you can browse through all kinds of pages, and it's going to work. So we run the extension here. We can see about $700 of potential profit here. That's quite a bit. So let's just, for example, this one's got only $3 profit. Let's look at one that's got some more. So this one's got 98. So if we click on Used and New, again, we can run it, and we can start to pick which ones we want to buy. Okay, there are a lot of copies where we can make money on this one, right? Pretty simple, not hard. We can keep doing this, right? We can go down, continue to go and go, right? Page after page after page. Again, there are thousands of pages on Amazon. So let me ask you guys this. You think we can get to six figures with this system at this point? This is not rocket science, okay? So this, again, we're just scratching the surface here, all right? So that's the first piece. So what I want to do now, let's go back to the presentation. You guys kind of have your head wrapped around the basics now. You know what we're doing, okay? We find books. We use some quick custom software. It speeds this process up real fast. We could find the differences in prices, take advantage of it. Again, we don't have to buy it until we already know it's profitable. We don't have to wait for anything to sell. This is awesome, okay? So let's go back to the presentation. So now the question is, of course, how easy is that? You guys kind of already answered that. Pretty basic. So here's the thing. Remember, I promised this. It gets better. That's going to be a recurring theme we have throughout the remainder of the system. So we're going to stack these different methods on top of each other, and each time it's going to continue to get better. So method number 2, all right? Get out your notebooks again. Here we go with method number 2. Write this one down. Here's the key to method number 2. Amazon doesn't care where we initially get the book. So what that means is we don't have to just buy from Amazon, okay? We can buy other places. What that does is it opens up the door for more books, okay? If we see a book where there's a potential profit opportunity, maybe Amazon's got a few copies, but what if somebody else has 30 copies? Well, shoot, we can go start taking advantage of that, right? So they don't care where you get the book. You can get it from a thrift store. You can get it from your old college books that are laying around. Doesn't matter. As long as you send it into them, they're going to pay you for that trade-in. You know, it meets their requirements. You get paid. Pretty cool. So we can take this to another level now. We don't have to just buy from Amazon. So let's do this. Let's find more books. Okay, this is kind of the next evolution. So we already know how to find some books. Now let's see if we can find even more, which is going to open up more profits. So let's do that now. Let's go back to Amazon. Okay, what I want to do, actually, we'll just start from the beginning again. We'll do a fresh search. Okay. And we'll do this. So what we want to look for now is another book that we can do very well with. And you guys can see this market changes super fast, right? It's so huge. The order on the page has changed. Some of the pricing has changed. Inventory's changed. So let me show you an example. So we know with this particular book, we can run this software and we can see, we can make potentially, $88 on this book on Amazon. Now maybe this one's no good, right? And we can't make any money on this one. So let's say, all right, we're $72, whatever. You get the point. This is where the new button comes in play. Buy on BookScouter. What does this do? Well, BookScouter is a marketplace of tons of other booksellers and book dealers and all of that. So they basically allow us to do a search across a whole bunch of other websites to find books. And we can tap into that with this. So let's see if let's just say we can make $88 on this book on Amazon. Can we find more books, though, to trade in and get our money? So let's click on Buy on BookScouter. Okay, and again, this button appears with the software. So check this out. What I want to do now is the software is also built to work on this page. So let's run it. And we can see here a total of $215. But here's what I want to do. You'll see this little X. We already know about what we can make with Amazon. So let's not count Amazon. So in order to do that, let's just X these out, okay? Let's get a more accurate picture, and I'll show you guys what might be available from other sellers. So take a look at this. There's another $67 in potential profit for this book outside of Amazon from all these other places. So half, and there's Valor and eCampus and a bunch of other places, okay? So we found some more profit, right? So what do? We buy some of these books and we trade them into Amazon. Okay. Again, Amazon doesn't care where you got the book initially. They just care that they get it and you get your trade in. Pretty cool, right? That makes sense? Give me a 1 if you're pumped about that. So we're stacking. All right, good. Ones everywhere. Okay, thanks guys for hanging in there with me and interacting. That's huge. So pretty straightforward, right? That's another method we can use, okay? So we can now buy outside of Amazon and find more books, okay? So here's the other thing. Let's go back to the presentation here. So we found more books. How about the theme coming back? It gets better. If that wasn't good enough, we're going to ratchet it up yet another level, okay? We're not done. We're going to keep cranking this baby up. Here's the deal with this method. Not only can you find more books, but Amazon doesn't necessarily always have the lowest price for the book. So if you think about this, not only can we find more books outside of Amazon, sometimes we can find cheaper books outside of Amazon. So the lower we pay, the lower the price is, the more we make when we trade it in. Okay, so that's the next piece. We'll kind of call it method 2B. with this, okay? So Amazon isn't always the lowest place. Well, we want to find the cheapest book because the cheaper the lower price we pay, the more we make. So let's do this. Let's find some cheaper books now, all right? So let's go back to Amazon. We found more books. Now let's see if we can find cheaper outside of Amazon. A lot of people get stuck on, Amazon being the only player in the game. While they are a big player, by no means do they have all the books or a lot of times the cheapest book. Okay, so let's go check a look. Okay, so here we are at Amazon. Remember, our goal now is we're looking for a cheaper book. We're going to see if we can find a better price than Amazon has. So get on one of the pages here. Let's run the extension. Let's do a math book. So this one here is $95, let's call it. And it's going to be about, let's call it $98 or $99 with shipping, okay, on Amazon. Let's see if we can beat $98, okay, somewhere else. So if we click on Buy on Book Scouter, again, same method that we used before, finding more books. Now we're going to try to find a cheaper one. So if we run extension here, take a look at this. So remember, this is a book that's not profitable here immediately on Amazon because they're offering $88. However, Books for Less here on Valor, selling it for $54. Pretty awesome. So that is a big difference. That's what like a $40 difference in price. So a lot of times, not only can you find more books off of Amazon, you can find cheaper books. All right? So that's kind of the next little phase. So let's go back to the presentation and see what things are looking like now. All right, so we found some cheaper books, and let's talk a little bit about method 2 now. Okay, this is for your notes. So we can now find books outside of Amazon, more of them, which makes us more money because we can find more deals. Cheaper, which makes us more money because each deal is higher margin. So both of those things equate to more profits, and we can, of course, still trade them in just the same. All right? So we can find books, we already know, with method 1. With method 2, we can find even more and even cheaper. So we're looking pretty good here. Here's the recurring theme. There should be a theme music for this. It gets even better. All right? Again, if that wasn't enough, we're going to keep ratcheting it up on you. So this gets even better. Method number 3. What is this method going to be? You guys can probably guess where we might be going with this. There are multiple other book buyers that will buy your textbooks or allow you to do a trade-in or a buyback, whatever you want to call it, right? So there are other places that will do a trade-in just like Amazon does. Here's the kicker. Okay, not only does that open up possibilities for more books and more of the same title and all kinds of things like that, but just like buying the books, on the flip side, Amazon doesn't always offer the highest trade-in price either. Okay? So, what does that mean? Well, obviously, if someone else is going to pay us more for a book, then yeah, we're going to send it to them and make more money. So that's the whole key here. So now, as part of this demonstration, what I want to do, let's go see if we can find better trade-in prices. All right, so let's go back to Amazon now and utilize this method to see if we can further enhance our profits and our margins. So let's go to Amazon and do that now. Okay, so here we are at Amazon. Let's run the software and let's see if we can find a better trade-in offer. And we'll be able to do that pretty easy. So we'll run the software, again, showing a potential it keeps climbing here, $655 profit on this page. So again, take note, how difficult do you think this is going to be to get to 6 figures? Hopefully your answer is not. So let's look at this book, for example. This is probably going to be a good one because Amazon is only offering $14 for the trade-in. Okay? So let's see if we can actually find someone else that'll offer us more for this book. So if we click on Use to New and we run the software, this is where this little blue button comes into play. So we're going to click on that now. Remember, Amazon is offering $14 for the book. Let's see if someone else will offer us more for this same book. Well, what do you know? Look at this right here. 25, 25, 25. You can see Amazon's all the way down here, not even in the top 10 with their $14 offer. The other cool thing, these, cash, PayPal, cash, pretty cool stuff, right? So not only can we find more deals off of Amazon to buy and sometimes cheaper books, but we can find more trade-in opportunities and higher trade-in options outside of Amazon a lot of times. And that all ties together quickly and easily with our little buttons in the software so you can, do it real quick, okay? Does that make sense? You guys follow that? eCampus is offering 25. Why not trade it into them instead of Amazon? It's another $11 we're getting, $10 per title, per book. Pretty awesome. And there are multiple ones that are. So that's just kind of a quick example of how Amazon isn't always the best trade-in place either. I don't want you to get hung up on Amazon. Really what we're using Amazon for is kind of they've been nice enough to have all of this data aggregated, and they're a fantastic search engine. So we're kind of using them as our research core and our platform, and we're going off of them and utilizing them when we can and others when we can. So I don't want you to get stuck in an Amazon-only mentality because this opportunity exists way outside of Amazon, and hopefully we've shown you that. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation now. You understand method 3, and we can now find trade-ins that are better outside of Amazon. Okay, so we've of course found some better trade-in opportunities. Let's do a quick recap. So this is where you get your notebook out again or pull up Notepad or wherever you're taking notes, and let's recap the multiple different ways we've found to find profits here, okay? The first method that we did was we buy from Amazon and we trade it into Amazon. Then we talked about the next method, which kind of consisted of two different parts, which was we could find more books available off of Amazon to add to what we did find on Amazon, and or we can find cheaper books outside of Amazon, which opens up more trade-ins, and also the ones that we do are more profitable. So those things really add up to extra profits. And then the next method we used was we can trade in books outside of Amazon. Amazon doesn't necessarily offer the best trade-in prices, so we want to go where we get the highest price. And then there are other methods we're not going to go into detail here about, but there are quite a few other ways we can also take advantage of this. Okay, it doesn't stop. We can keep stacking. All right. Now, the important note here is this: because we've covered a few different ways to do this, I don't want that to be confusing or make it sound difficult. Don't overthink this, okay? This is very simple. All we're doing, we're finding books that we can trade in for a higher price than we can buy the book for, all right? So it really just boils down to two simple steps. We want to buy the book as low as we can, no matter where it's coming from, and we want to trade it in for as high as we can, no matter who is doing the trade-in. Okay. Simple enough, right? We just have multiple ways to buy low and trade in high. Awesome. Okay, you guys are all on board. Fantastic. So back to the theme. It gets even better. Okay? And we're going to move away from the methods. There are other ways we could talk about, adding on and stacking. But let's get to other ways that this gets better. Okay? How many of you are not in the U.S.? You're probably going, okay, this. If you're not in the U.S., give me a 1 in the chat box. Just curious to see how many we've got here. If you're not in the U.S., because you're probably thinking at this point, okay, I see some of you. How can I do this? Because if I have to buy the books and then I have to ship them all the way over to me, that's going to be real expensive. And then I have to ship them all the way back. Man, my shipping costs are very expensive. And does Amazon give you prepaid labels if you're not in the? How is this going to work? Right? I'm not in the U.S. This is going to make it difficult. So we're going to address you here in just a second. Okay, don't worry, we've got you covered. The second group of you might be in the U.S., but you might be saying, I know at least I was when I figured this out. Okay, this is easy, but I don't want to have to be the one physically processing the books. And what I mean by physically process is get them in at my house or my office or whatever and open all these books and repackage them and stick a label on and ship them and keep it all organized. It's some physical labor. That doesn't sound fantastic. So the good news is for both groups, no matter if you're in the U.S. or if you don't want to do the physical labor, there is a single solution that takes care of both of you, all right? And that is this. This is really cool. We've actually contracted with a processing center that will do all of this work for you, okay? So they will receive the books, so you don't ship them to yourself. You ship them straight to the processing center. They open them and inspect them, make sure everything is good there, and then, of course, they repackage them for you and ship to Amazon. So they do all the work for you. Now, the way that's beneficial to everyone is you don't have to do the work. The way that's beneficial to you non-U.S. people is you don't have to ship them overseas. You just, everything stays within the U.S. You just, from whomever you purchase the book from, it just goes straight to the processing center. So it stays U.S. to U.S. You never touch the books. You never have to worry about it. And then it goes to Amazon or whomever else you traded the book to, and you don't have to touch it. So solves two big ones, which is, having to do any of the work, and if you're overseas, not having to have that shipping done. Does that make sense? Cover both of you guys? Okay, good. Good. Everybody follows. So here's the deal. Not only does it get better that way, I do want to briefly mention this as well, and this is something you have a chance to get into later. There is another method here and multiple other methods, but one of the ways you might be thinking of, so I just want to cover it and say, yes, you are correct. You can even get higher margins. You get paid in cash directly if you are willing to wait a little longer to get paid. And kind of the difference there is instead of utilizing trade-in programs, you start to sell, all right? And so there's a full evolution to this, and you can really scale this up and take it huge if you really want to, okay? So just trying to open your eyes a little bit to not only all the different methods, but scaling potential as well, okay? At this point, I'm going to ask kind of a big question. I think everybody's going to hopefully answer positively here. Does anybody want to get access to the software that you saw me using so you can actually do this? Anybody interested? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you'd like the software. One's like crazy. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, good. So here's what we've done. We've actually put together an entire system for you so that you can replicate this whole thing that we've done. We've been doing this for a while. We've got it down. We've been doing it for a couple years. We've spent, tens of thousands, if not 6 figures plus, figuring this whole thing out. So in order to pull this off, you could try to do this on your own manually. There are a whole bunch of problems with that we can cover. You really need the software, but not just the software. There are a lot of gotchas with this that you need to know and understand. There are condition requirements. There are specific ways to go about the order of things and all of that. So we've put together a full system for you so that you can replicate this whole thing. So let me show you what we've put together. Of course, the first thing being the software. We want to be able to give you access to our custom software that we built to speed this process up, which is really the key to this whole thing and makes it work. The next thing is the software isn't good enough. If you don't know how to use it or what to do, you don't have the knowledge, then you're not going to be able to use it to its fullest. So we have a full member area where there is, and we can look at this here in just a minute, full, detailed, in-depth video training. Okay, no fluff, just exactly what you need, no more, no less. And not only do we have full video training broken down into great detail for you, but we also have available for you the audio version of all of those videos, because I know some of you like to listen on your phone or in the car or whatever. So you have the audio version there for you guys that like to listen by or learn by audio. Then, of course, we also have those videos transcribed. So if you like to read, you can print these out and you can learn by reading the modules. So also, we have the slides that we use in the videos available for download. So we tried to make the training such that not only was it detailed and gave you everything you needed, but in multiple different formats because everybody learns differently. So you have the chance to do that. So we tried to be as accommodating as possible with that. On top of that, we also provide what we call our book condition guide. This is one of the most important aspects of this method. You need to know what they're going to accept, what they're not, what to look for to make sure you avoid when you're purchasing, what to avoid when you're sending things in to trade in, all of that. Very important to understand that. So we have a full guide there. It's got detailed pictures and everything you could need, okay? On top of that, We also have, because I like to try to keep everything organized, becomes very important when you have, a large number of books coming in and out or going to the processing center in and out. You have to be able to track that and be organized with it. So we're going to give you access to our tracking spreadsheet that we utilize to organize all this. And it's super valuable, and you're going to love that once you get into the system and method. Not only that, we actually have now included in the member area full tracking capabilities if you'd like to enter your books and your tracking directly in the member area. So there's a database there. But for those that like to track outside or offline and have a separate file, then we've got that for you as well. Okay, so not only all that, you get the software, all the training and all the different formats and tracking, everything you need. On top of that, we do some other things as well to make sure you're successful. We have regular live help sessions just like this, where we've been doing them twice a week. We'll probably stick to a once a week schedule as we go along, but right now we're just kind of getting started, so we're making sure that all the questions are getting answered. Live help sessions, so you have direct access. You can come straight to us. You can say, hey, I'm doing this, or what would you recommend here? And those have been fantastic. People absolutely love those. They're always packed out. We have a lot of fun on those sessions. They're very, very valuable. So we do those very regularly. Of course, constant updates. In fact, initially we started only doing Amazon to Amazon, okay? And then we started adding things to the software. And Amazon makes changes daily. And all these other book buyers and sellers make changes daily. So this thing has to be constantly updated. So not only is it updated to keep it working like it needs to be done, but it's updated with new features. So the ability to go out and look at Book Scouter on the buy and the sell end, that was all added as updates. And there are even more updates. We haven't even scratched the surface of what the software actually does on this webinar. We just don't have time. So constant updates. Of course, expert support. Not only do we do the live Q&A, we've got people that actually do and understand the method there to help you through email support as well. So if you get stuck or you have a question, you can email as well. So you don't have to show up. Also, I should mention the live help sessions. We have those. We mix up the times and the days so everybody has a chance to attend. We also record those and stick those in the member area. So if you can't make them live, you get access to the processing center. And the way they handle this, $2 a book. Okay, we've contracted with them on a large monthly contract that locks you into being able to use them, so you don't have any other fees, no matter your volume, 0 to how many ever books you want to do, $2 a book. That is a no-brainer. Hopefully, it's a no-brainer. Okay, so you got access to the processing center for $2 a book, which makes it an absolute no-brainer. Multiple methods. We didn't even cover all the methods here today. There are more methods and systems in the training. And of course, there's a whole lot more too that we just don't have time to cover. So let's talk about this because I already know people are asking and you've got the question. Let's talk about the two big ones, which is how much and where. And we'll cover that. And then we'll take a look at the member area so you guys can see that. We'll do some Q&A and we'll let you hear from some other people that are doing this. All right. So here's the thing. Let's stick to our theme. How much and where? Well, it gets better than what you're probably thinking. We not only wanted to give you access to everything you need to duplicate what we do, we wanted to be able to do that in such a way that it's absolutely zero risk for you. Okay? We don't do this whole week, 30-day money-back guarantee and then just hope people don't ask for refunds or all that. We don't do that. We stick our money where our mouth is. No week refund or money back guarantees here. We go way beyond that. Here's what we do. You guys are going to like this. The good news about what we do, if you just take action, all right, you actually take action and you show us that you did, and you don't have success, we're not only going to give you your money back here, we're actually going to give you 2 times your money back. So not just your money back. That's not good enough. You spent some time, right? So we want to give you 2 times your money back if you take action, you show us you did, and you don't have success. 2 times your money back. So what we call this is our double your money guarantee and double your money in 60 days. So here's our crazy guarantee. Let's break it down first before I show you where to go. If you don't make at least 100% of your purchase price back in your first 60 days, which means after that, you're just set up for pure profits. So if you don't make your purchase price back in your first 60 days, we're going to pay you 2 times your purchase price back. So we're not just going to give you your money back. We're going to give you 2 times your money back. Okay, so none of that weak guarantee stuff here. And the reason we do that is because we know for a fact there is no way if you take action that you aren't going to make money with this. It's impossible. It doesn't happen. All right, so here's the deal. No matter what happens today, you're going to double your money. That's a pretty good no-risk offer, right? So here's what I say with that. You're going to make money no matter what. We are going to force you, like it or not, kicking or screaming or enjoying it, either way, we are going to force you to make money with this system because either I'm going to pay for your profits because you weren't able to do it, or more than likely, you did it and you're going to make money because you did it. Okay? So we're going to force you to make money with this, like it or not. That's pretty powerful. So that's putting your money where your mouth is. Now, here's the deal. Let's talk about the requirements. What do you have to do to qualify for the guarantee? Super easy. Let me ask you guys the first question. How many of you think you can do 2 books a day? Can you average 2 books a day for 60 days? Can you do that for us? Do you think that can be done? Or is that just like crazy? Oh my gosh, I can't do 2 books a day on average over 60 days. There's no way. Pretty easy, right? Okay, good. So that's the first piece. Really simple. You just need to average 2 books a day over the 60 days. Simple. We're not asking you to do hundreds of books or any of that. 2 books average a day. Pretty basic. Everybody says they can do that. Yeah. If you can't do that, then this is not for you. If you can't pull off 2 books a day, then you need to be looking at doing something else. What about this? The other requirement. Can you do 2 simple searches a day for us? You think you can do 2 searches a day? Okay, exactly. Easy enough. So if you can do 2 books a day on average, and if you can do 2 searches a day, and you can show us that you did that, which we got full details on the next page, then guess what? Congratulations, you qualify. So this isn't something really hard, any of that. If you take action, and you do these 2 things, we know for a fact you are going to make money, so we don't have any risk. The only risk we have is if you don't do anything, right? Of course, we can't guarantee money is going to magically appear in your account if you don't work the system. So that's why we do this type of guarantee. So you're going to be super attractive to anybody that wants to take action. Probably not that attractive if you don't plan to do anything, okay? And so in that case, please don't buy. We want to focus on the people that are going to at least be able to take a little action, average a couple of books a day, and a couple of searches a day. Pretty simple. Fair enough? Is that fair, guys? Good. I would think so. It's about as fair as it gets. So what you want to do, if you want to see more details about that, I'm going to give you the link here in just a second. Go look at the details. All the specifics are laid out for exactly what you need to do to show us you did those 2 things. Very simple. All you basically have to do is document you did a couple of books a day and you did a couple of searches a day so that we know you took action. If you did, hey, if you don't make 100% of your money back in 60 days, by all means, guess what? You just doubled your money. Because we don't want to just give you your money back. We want to double it. And again, we're confident that there's no way that's going to happen if you just do these 2 things. Okay? Simple. Not hard. So take a look at the details on the page I'm going to send you to. It'll spell out everything to show you what you need to do there. So the big question, price. How much does this thing cost? Well, here's what we did. When we started this out, we wanted to make sure that it was really set up nice. So we brought in a small group of beta testers, okay? And they bought into the system and they got access. And here's what they paid when they came into the system. They paid $29.97 was their initial fee. And that got them immediate access, and that covered their first 30 days. So $29.97 initial fee in first 30 days. And then after that, they paid $297 a month, okay? And of course, we said, you cancel at any time, whatever. So that's how they came in. And you don't have to worry. We're going to do something crazy today. You're not going to pay anywhere near that. So if you're seeing the webinar here, you're not going to pay anywhere near that. We've done what we call our special webinar price. What does webinar price mean? Webinar price means this is the price. We're going to do a huge discount for you while we're on the webinar. So once the webinar is over, deal's done, right? We're going to jack the price back up to where it needs to be. But for you guys, we want to do a pretty cool deal today. We want to get everybody involved. We want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to do this because everybody has the capability to, right? This isn't difficult. So what we've done is a giant discount. We're going to give you a full $1,000 off the original purchase price, and that takes care of your first 30 days. All right, so that's a huge $2,000 discount while we're on the webinar. And the next thing is we've taken off $200 a month to the monthly fee. All right? So that's another, if hopefully you stay longer than this, but if you just do it for a year, that's another $2,000 savings. So we're talking about a savings for the year here for you of over $4,000. Now that's a big discount. So again, that's our special while on the webinar only. It will go back to normal price afterward. So a full $2,000 off your original purchase price and another $2,000 if you stay for the year. So your $4,000 discount is a big one. And so hopefully everybody can take advantage of that. Now, the way it works, it's $997 for your first, that includes your first month. Okay, so there's no other fees that first month. After that, stick around as long as you want, cancel anytime if you want for $97 a month. Okay, so two big discounts on the price and the monthly. All right? So to take advantage of that, here's what you do. You can go to the link that you see here on your screen and jump on it. Okay? So again, we're going to do this deal while we're on the webinar, and then it'll go back to the normal price. So take advantage of it while we're on. And at this point, what I want to do is we'll cover some questions. We will take a look at the member area, and then you'll hear from some other people. I think that's super important, okay, to hear from some others that are crushing it with this so that you can see it's not just us and all of that. So again, $997 and $97 a month, cancel any time. You're fully backed up by our ironclad, lock and key, double your money in 60-day guarantee, so you have absolutely no risk. The worst thing you can do today, guys, is double your money. So if you're into business and the worst thing you can do is double your money in 60 days and you don't take advantage of that, you have lost your mind. Okay, good. Everybody, okay, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We wanted to make sure it was a no-brainer, so no problem on the discount. All good there. So let's do this. Let's go into some questions before we look at the member area because I know there are quite a few, and I want you to have some time to be able to take advantage of this before we close out. So if you have a question, type it in the questions box now. I already know a couple you're going to have, so I want to answer those. And then we'll move over to take a look at the member area. So here, a couple of questions. I know one of the main questions I would have looking at this, and at least I did in the beginning, is can this get saturated though? What if we all start looking for the book? Aren't we all looking for the same books? What happens if a couple hundred of us do this? So here's what I want to explain to you. How this works in a market and what actually drives this market. So take a look at this and get a visual picture. This is about what a couple hundred of us would look like, okay? Let's say there are a couple hundred of us looking for books, okay? That's what a couple hundred people look like. Now the question is, can these couple hundred people manipulate a market with 20 million people? So let's visualize what that looks like, okay? So this is Michigan Stadium. This holds over 100,000 people, approximately 100,000. Get a good visualization of how many people that is. All right, so our little group of 200 of us looking for books. Now, these 100,000 people, we would actually need 200 full Michigan football stadiums full of people to get us to 20 million students. And 20 million students are what are looking for books multiple times throughout the year. So we don't need to be worried about a couple of hundred of us looking for books, guys. What we need to be worried about are 20 million other people looking for books multiple times throughout the year. So here's the great thing, okay? Obviously 20 million versus 200. Our little group is never going to affect the market, right? The market, the supply and demand is generated by 20 million people, not 200 of us. So we're not going to affect the market. So this thing isn't going to get saturated. Like I said, Amazon has hundreds of thousands of books on thousands of pages. The market changes multiple times a year. It's a forced market. They have to come in and buy books. They have to sell books. And we can go outside of Amazon. So you're talking hundreds of thousands of books available there. $20 billion industry, forced. It's not going to get saturated, okay? But that's a good thought. I wanted to make sure we address that. The next one is that I want to address before I get to your specific questions, and I've got the guys, they're going to print out some questions for me. is, can I try this on my own? Can I go out and do this on my own? Let me just explain why I don't think you should. Obviously, I'm biased. I want you to become a member of our system. I want you to use our tools and hang out with us on our help sessions and all of that. But here's why. You're not going to have the software. Obviously, the software is important. You're not going to be able to manually go through these pages, find the deals, make the transactions happen. It'll take you forever. The dollar per hour return on that is going to be not very good. Right? That's why we built the software in the first place. So it's going to take you forever to find the deals. You're not going to have the training. The training is important. There are tons of gotchas. There are things you need to know. And these are things that we learned over the course of time. And there's no reason for you to spend tens of, thousands of dollars trying to figure this out when you can just come straight to us. We've already got it done for you. You won't have access to the support staff. You're not going to have our live help sessions. You won't have access to the processing center, which makes it really cool and hands-off and even makes it possible for you non-US people. You won't get access to all the other methods that we didn't even cover today. No book management system, which you're going to see in a minute, which interfaces directly with the processing center. And of course, no new methods as we release them. We've already got 3 or 4 other improvements and methods we're adding to the system already, right? And those aren't even there yet. So we're 3 or 4 steps ahead of our members at all times, okay? So you can absolutely go try to make this happen. Good luck is what I have to say, right? So I want you to become a member of our system. That's good for us and that's good for you. Everybody wins. So I would suggest not trying this on your own. So here's the next question. And in fact, I'm going to ask the question for you because I already saw some people. Let me ask you guys this. We want everybody to be able to take advantage of this, okay? So what would be the number one reason you're not jumping on this today? Because remember, you have absolutely no risk with this. We're going to force you to make money, profit, whether you like it or not. So everyone should be jumping on this. What would be the reason if you're not doing it already? And you should already be going to the page and doing it now. So you get it before we close out here. I think I already know what's going to... Okay. All right, that's what I thought. So let me throw this out. So a couple of things. Some people say, hey, I don't have 997. So obviously your first line of defense here is to use your credit card. I mean, definitely, if you've got a card, leverage other people's money. When you've got a business like this, when you know you don't have to invest anything unless you know a book's going to be profitable, and you know it's backed up by our double your money in 60 guarantee, I mean, this should be a no-brainer. Go ahead and use other people's money. That's what it's there for. I mean, what's the minimum payment on a 997 purchase? Like $25 a month, $30 a month? Surely you can make $30 a month if you're just taking action. Again, remember when you buy, you're promising you're going to take action. You're going to do this. So that should be a no-brainer. Now, for you other people, maybe you're saying, I don't have a credit card that's got 997 on it. I don't even have that available. What do I do? How about this? Let me ask you guys a question. If this will help, we'll do it. If I don't get enough response, then we won't. That's simple as that. But what if we did this? What if we broke it up into a 4-payment plan of $297 for you guys? Would that help you? Would that help some of you if we did a 4-pay of $297? Now, there's a little charge in there, obviously, because, I mean, you're going to save money by going $997. Definitely do that. Get in and get it done. And of course, you've got even bigger 60-day guarantee. But okay, good. So some are saying yes, that would be huge. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll give you another link here. We're going to put that up on the screen. We'll do a 4-pay of $297. Here's how that's going to work. Remember, we do have a monthly fee as well. Okay, so the first month is going to be $297. That covers your first month. No other fees at all. You're good to go. The next month, you've got your installment payment of $297, but also your monthly kicks in at $97 a month. So you'll have $297 and $97, and you'll have that 3 times, right, for the remainder of your installments, your 3 remaining installments. And then after that, your installments go away, and you're just on $97 a month for as long as you want to be. You're grandfathered in at that $97 a month. You can cancel any time. We don't have a long-term contract or anything like that. Okay? Is that fair enough? Okay, good. A lot of you said, yes, that helps. Okay, so take advantage of that if you'd like. Again, 4-pay installments of $297. And those will be monthly. So your first 30 days, $297 only, because that covers your monthly is covered there. And then after that, $297 and $97 a month until you pay off your installment, and then it's just the monthly. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you want more detail, again, click on that. Again, both of them are covered by our 60-day guarantee. So obviously, if you pay $997, you've got a double your money $1,000 guarantee. If you pay $297, you're at more like because you would have gone for 60 days, more like a $600 guarantee. But the bottom line is, there's absolutely no risk for you. We're going to force you to make money, like it or not. It's pretty no-brainer. Is everybody on board at this point? There should be nobody that's not on board doing that. And that's the best we can do. We're not going to break it down any further than that. So, okay, awesome. Now, for some of you that may have a question about, hey, can I split a payment on a card, or do you have another way I can get some credit or something like that? We can try to help you out there. Email us at sales@textbookmoney.com, sales@textbookmoney.com with your question, and we'll try to help you out. We want to get all of you guys involved in this if we can. Again, we're not worried about saturation here. There's no way a couple hundred of us are going to saturate this market. So we want everyone on here to be able to do this. It's really that simple. Okay, good. Yep, so sales@textbookmoney.com. If you have some other questions or circumstance, or you want to try some other credit or something like that, we might have some other options for you, okay? So at this point, what I want to do, let's actually look at the member area real fast. Then we'll answer, I got some more questions here from you guys. We'll answer some of those, and then we'll hear from some other people. So let's just quickly take a look at the member area so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, so here we are in the member area. This is what it looks like. Let me just kind of cover some other things we haven't touched on yet. First of all, we do have another way to make money with the system, and some of our beta testers have actually made almost as much doing this than they did doing books. We do have a referral program. So this came by popular demand. We had so many people that were doing well. They said, hey, I want to recommend this to a friend or a family member, or I want to be able to send this to a couple of buddies. Do you guys offer commission if I can recommend it? And we thought, yeah, that anytime we can get you more ways to make money, we're all about it. And that helps us too. We make more too, so everybody wins. So we've put together a referral program where you get a link. You get 30% of every sale. And we give you a couple different links. You can promote, you can learn more about that in our system. So that's cool. So if somebody buys $997, you make $300. And a lot of people have made a lot of money just referring friends and family because it works so well. Everybody wants to tell friends and family. I mean, if you take action, it's going to work for you. So the next thing we have that's really cool, of course, all the training is here. And you can bounce between the different training modules very easily. You have all the different downloads here, so you can download everything. We got resources for you, all of that. We also have what we call our book management system. What is that? Well, it allows you to keep track of all of your books, and it allows you to interface directly with the processing center. So here's how that works. Again, you purchase your $2 a book. You purchase that right in here. You don't have to go to some other website or deal with the processing center. We've integrated them directly into our system. So you can buy your $2 per book here. You can submit your book here. So when you've got a book, they know it's coming. You upload your label to them. Very simple form and process. You can check status of your books, right? So you know where they are. Okay, this one's been processed and shipped. It's done. I've submitted this one for processing. It's waiting. If there's a problem, the processing center can tell you here. They can mark it, hey, we got it, but it's the wrong book. Or, if there's something happened, you can fix all of that and do all of that from right here in the member area. That's really neat. And then also you can add books that you are doing the physical processing yourself. We call that self-managed. So you can track all of that here, and you can see that your profits and all of that are tracked as well. So that's really cool. So that allows you to be very efficient, very organized, interface directly into the back end of the processing center. So you don't even have to email back and forth or any of that. Everything can be handled right here in the system. And you can add your own books and track them. And you, of course, have all of your payments report. So as you get paid for books, you can track all of that in here. So that's all great. So you can buy your credits, $2 a book to have them processed. You can upload your labels here. You can see the status here. You can change things here, all kinds of cool things. So it's very, very easy. You download your software, of course, from the member area. We have a couple of other ways you can take advantage of more opportunities. We have the referral program. You can get to support from here. Everything you need, all right here in the member area, right? Pretty straightforward. Thanks. Yeah, we've worked very hard on that. Thank you guys for that compliment. So that's the member area. So let's do some more Q&A real quick, and then we'll get into hearing from some other people. So that was the member area. Oh, one other thing. We have a couple of different things I wanted to address. I know one, I've already seen this question. We're going to talk about it. How do we do the gift cards to cash? We talked a little bit about that earlier. Another thing is, what about the outsourcing? So we don't provide the outsourcing for you other than the processing center, right? We've already contracted with them. We've got it set up for you. They're integrated in our member area. $2 a book, you're ready to go. What we don't provide are people that actually learn the method and go out and do it for, find the books for you and maybe even purchase the books for you if you really want that outsourced. So you really need to do that. So you can absolutely, this is very simple. You guys saw already what it takes. You can easily train someone to find the books for you or even find and purchase, so you don't have to touch them. So the basic concept there is the outsourcer buys your books. The book is shipped directly to the processing center. The processing center does all of its magic, and then you count your money. It's pretty simple, right? So if you want to do that, we can give you, a couple of recommendations on where you can find people on that, but we don't provide those people. I just wanted to be clear about that. I saw someone ask, well, how do we tap into your outsourcers? So you can't. We don't have them available. The processing center is available at $2 a book to process your books. You would be responsible, of course, for training someone to find the books for you and all that. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. So real quick, let's talk about gift cards. First of all, there are a couple of different ways to handle the Amazon gift cards. Number one, you don't have to use Amazon at all. Amazon is the only book buyer that pays you for your trade-ins in gift cards. Okay? So that's one thing. You can just bypass Amazon completely. The next way to handle that is you can actually use the Amazon cards to reinvest and buy more books. That's kind of part of the deal. If you can continue to do that, you can keep reinvesting 100% of that, and then that starts to really build. And so that's one other way to use your cards. Of course, you can just buy. Amazon has everything known to man. There's no telling how much we spend here at my house on Amazon in a year. You can absolutely buy anything you want with that. Now, they do not provide you with a physical card, okay? It's just a digital credit. So there's no way to hand that card off to somebody else or any of that. Now, so those are a couple different ways. You avoid it altogether. You can use it to buy books. You can use it to buy other things. The other question is, okay, if we have a system in place to convert that to cash for you, and I know what you might be thinking, and it's not something lame like, oh, well, go sell your card on eBay or something stupid like that, okay? First of all, you can't because you don't even have the card, okay? It's just a digital credit. So we have a way to convert that for you. It's a 6% fee. That's not our fee. That's a conversion fee that we have to pay someone else. It's not us. There's no real wait for that. Let's call it 48 hours to convert your cards to cash. So we can absolutely do that for you for a fee. We even have a couple of other ways you can do it for no fee. So that's pretty cool. But the majority of the time, the way you'll want to do it, quick and easy, painless, is that. The other way to do it quick, easy, painless, that you have full control over, you don't have to use us at all, you can use your gift cards, your Amazon cards, to buy books on Amazon and then trade those books into the third-party buyers that pay you in cash. So thereby, you drain your gift card balance and you get paid in cash from the third-party buyers. That's another way to do it you have full access to in a very easy way. But there are other ways, and we cover that for our members only. So we don't provide the specifics on how we do that. That's just for our members only. But again, You can do it that way. You can use your cards. You can drain your balance and send it to third parties and get paid in cash. Again, Amazon's the only one that pays you in gift cards, so you can avoid them altogether. Or you also have kind of the other final resort, which is use us. We'll convert it for you. 6% fee. Again, we don't make any money on that. That's not our fee. And you're set. So there are other ways we've got coming around the corner as well. So plenty of ways to do it. Don't let that be a hindrance. I mean, that kind of reminds me of the people that say, I don't want to win the lottery because how am I going to pay my taxes? Who cares? Pay your taxes when you win. It's game on. So same thing with this. Don't worry too much about that. That's very easily solved multiple ways. So here are some of your questions that are coming in. Again, for you international people, you use the processing center. You never have to touch the books. You never have to deal with international shipping. That's one of the main reasons we've got the processing center set up for you. Amazon's been doing this for years. The question was, how long has Amazon been doing this? If you're not in the U.S., the trade-in program for textbooks does not exist on like .co.uk or .ca or any other version of Amazon. You are going to be searching for books on Amazon.com because that's the only place where they have trade-ins available. All right. So if you're outside the U.S., you will be just using the .com version, and you'll be using the processing center to handle your books. So that's how that works. Good question, though. That was a good question. Let's see. Do you have to be an Amazon Prime member? No, you do not. It can be beneficial in one way. There's kind of a little secret method where you can make extra money on every single book we talk about. So that's cool if you've got Prime, but it's definitely not required. You definitely don't have to have it to do this. Also, the next question here, you do not have to be a seller. Remember, we're not selling anything. We're just trading in, okay? Is there a refund or money back guarantee? No. Remember, we don't do anything weak like that. If you want a week, 30-day money back guarantee, go buy a Warrior Forum product or $7 product or something. We go way beyond that, okay? So we don't do the 30-day money back or refund. What we do is our 60-day double your money guarantee. So if you just do, like I said, you can go to the link here and you can see all the details about it. 2 simple things. Average 2 books a day, do 2 searches a day, document that for us. You're going to we're going to force you to make profit that way. So that's going to be very, very attractive if you're going to take action. Maybe not that attractive if you're not going to be an action taker, and that's on purpose. Please don't buy if you're not going to do anything. So no, we don't do a money back. We do something way better than that. We'll not only give you your money back, we give you double your money if you do a couple of books a day and average a couple of searches a day. Pretty simple. So I want to be clear on this. The 4 payment option is not a membership. It's an installment payment. So you opt for the 4 pay. Those 4 payments are owed. You're going to have to pay those. There is no cancel after the first one or any of that. Obviously, you wouldn't qualify for the double your money guarantee if you did. How long will this be available? This discount is going to be available. So here's something I want to mention. I've already seen a lot of this. A lot of you came in late. Here's what I want to do. Instead of just going back and doing a little recap for you guys that came in late, I want to be able to get to you to hear from some people that are doing this. I think that's really important. So what we'll do is we'll do that, and then we'll just do an immediate encore. We'll have the video guys replay this. So if you just came in, you're going to have a chance to see everything from the beginning, and we'll keep that discount going for you so that you have the same opportunity to see it. Because I know some people I saw here had a mix-up on their time zones and all that. So, okay, so stick around. We'll do a full encore. You'll see the whole thing immediately after this. So don't get off when we're done. It'll just loop right around, and we'll play what we just did for everyone else. So you'll be able to see it from the beginning. So let's see. You actually do have to work. Like someone's asking, okay, yeah, but how easy is this? I don't want you to think it's like money just appears. I mean, you have to search. You have to look daily. I mean, it's like fishing. You're going to go out some days and there's going to be tons of deals everywhere. Other days you're going to come out, there are going to be fewer deals. Different times a year, there are different amounts of deals, different margins, all these different things happen. So you have to actually work. I mean, you can't just press a button and take a nap, but it's pretty close to that. Okay. So you do have to take action. That's pretty much it, guys. I think we've covered almost everything. If you have any other questions, email sales@textbookmoney.com. we'll be happy to get back with you, help you out any way we can. We look forward to working with you. I already see a bunch of you have jumped on board, so welcome. We look forward. I'm sure we'll be seeing you on the next live help session we're going to have right away, so we look forward to that. And at this point, what we'll do, we'll let you hear from some others that have had a lot of success with this and let you see that, hey, it's not just us. Anyone can do it. And then directly after that, we'll replay this one as an immediate encore. So all of you that came in late and didn't get to see the first part or would like to even see it again, I know you just can't get enough. We'll have that available. So let's cut now. We'll let you hear from some others that are having success, and then we'll do an immediate encore. We'll keep that discount available while the encore goes on, and we will see you guys on the other side. We look forward to having you. And again, if you have any further questions, sales@textbookmoney.com. Visit the links you see there to see all the details, how to purchase, the details on our Double Your Money Guarantee. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the other side. Thanks again. Bye.
Hey guys, so it's Jennifer, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the textbook money program. I started with the program, and within my first 3 weeks, I had hit $1,800 of profit. I was able to pull out money to feed my family. At the time when I started the program, I actually borrowed the money to make payments so that I could get the application and get started. And I had been out of work for several months and searching, and had previously been self-employed and lost some clients. And I am a single mother of 4 special needs kids, and they're all on special diets, and it's very expensive. It was extremely stressful time in my life, and I was really starting to become desperate. And then I found Textbook Money, and I started with that. And to date, it's been about 2.5 months, I think, that I've been working with the program, and I've made $5,400 of profit. I am slowly climbing out of debt. Mostly I'm rolling over my money back into my business, but I am still feeding my family off of that money, and I am climbing out of my consumer debt as well. So because I was saddled with some bills while I was out of work. So all I can say to you is that this system has been an absolute godsend to me, a godsend to my kids, and that it works if you work it. So if you just follow the steps, it's really easy, it's fun. Some days it is really, really easy, and every book that you find seems like magic. Other days you spend an hour and you don't find anything. But that's okay, because you just come back. I mean, look at this. This is $5,400 profit. This is not $5,400 total. This is after my investment, my fees, sending things back. So this is a great system, and definitely hop on and invest. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Randy, and I want to do a quick shout out to John, Luke, and Anakin of Textbook Money. It's been 1 month since I joined the program, and so far my little enterprise has made $6,510.36. Woohoo! It's the first time in 14 years of trying to make money online that I actually made more money than I spent. And I'm grateful for you guys and your program and your support. You do a great job. Thanks. May the force be with you.
Hey guys, RT here, and I just wanted to take a quick minute and send out a video testimonial for Textbook Money. I can honestly say this is probably the best online program that I've ever been a part of. I've gone through several. I've made some marginal cash on the others, but this is the first program where I have actually recouped my entire investment, and I've done so inside of the first month. Actually, the first 21 days. Today marks day 21 of buying and selling textbooks, and to date I have made $1,534.40. This is a 14.2% return on my investment. If I were to annualize that, that would be over a 900% ROI, which I don't think you are going to find that very many places, if any place at all. So textbook money is absolutely the real deal. Luke and the team are incredible. They truly want to see you succeed. And quite honestly, with a little bit of diligence, yes, it doesn't just happen automatically. It does take a good bit of diligence, but with that and the ability to follow some simple instructions, you will be off and making a few bucks online as well. Hope this video encourages you, and for those that are on the fence, go ahead and jump in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hi, this is Helen. I started Textbook Money about a month ago, and I've made just over $1,600. I'm really pleased with it. I have 8 grandkids, so big Christmas for the little guys. Thank you.
Hi, g'day. My name's Andy, and this is a quick testimonial and shout out to Textbook Money. About a month ago, a friend of mine said, Andy, you really need to check this out. And well, I've been online trying to make money for about 4 years now, and I really haven't made any money at all. But I decided to check it out, and I'm so glad I did. Within 2 weeks, I had made $800 which is absolutely brilliant. I'm an Australian, I live in Vietnam, and I buy and sell books in the US, totally remotely in the comfort of my own home, just by using my laptop. Like I said, absolutely fantastic. And the cool thing is the support that you get and level of professionalism that you get from Textbook Money is absolutely outstanding. I've never, ever had service like this before. So thanks, Textbook Money. Absolutely brilliant system. And here's to another quick $1,000 bucks. All right, see ya.
Hey guys, my name is Shauna. I just want to give y'all a little bit of a testimonial for Textbook Money. This is an awesome software. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of it. We've been doing it for about 3 weeks now, and we've made a little over $1,100. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Janet, and this is Duke, and we just wanted to tell you how much we love Textbook Money. I bought a lot of different affiliate programs in the last year or so, and I gotta tell you, I was skeptical on this one because I had a serious case of BAMS, battered affiliate marketing syndrome. I had a lot of things that didn't quite work the way I wanted them to. But I went ahead and bought this one anyway, and I couldn't believe it. Within a couple of weeks, was already making quite a profit. Made about $1,600 in profit. So I can't complain with that. You know, you have to be organized with this program, and you have to have a little bit of money to invest. But once you do, that money, you just keep rolling it over, and the ROI is phenomenal with it. So Luke and John and the whole team, they're great. So if you're even thinking about getting this program, you should do it. It's a great one.
Hi, my name is Anik. Yesterday afternoon, I made a video to say that I had earned $380 in profit from Textbook Money. And today I decided to make another video because since yesterday afternoon, I've made another $800 in profit. So it's about a total of $1,200 in profit using this method. And that extra $800 was just from the sale of several copies of one book, mostly to a third-party seller outside of Amazon, which is blows me away. I'm really happy with the program. The training is easy to follow, and I really appreciate the live help sessions that the guys give us once or twice a week. So I am really over the moon. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Wilfried from Holland, and I'm very excited about Textbook Money. Making money was never easier. Above $15,000 and just in 6 weeks. It's like it's raining money here in Holland.